everyone. This is Tina Karagulian, and I wanted to talk about yes-no entanglements. What do I mean by that? I think oftentimes, when I'm looking at different interactions in our world right now and in our personal relationships, there might be times where we can't say a yes or a no to someone for whatever reason. It could be a belief that to be a good person you do it this way, or you have an inner child memory or a traumatic memory that it wasn't safe to say what you really felt with someone, or you were ridiculed or maybe not supported in some way. And then we take on some of that entanglement, and we do this to ourselves. We gaslight ourselves, which is where we say, oh, that didn't happen, right, about something. We have many times in our history, and my background is I'm Armenian, and so we have genocide in our history, and there are certain people that say that didn't happen, right? But we do little microcosms of that to ourselves, where we say, there must be something wrong with how my body is reacting in that situation. I'll second guess myself, or I'll override my intuition or my body or certain clues to stay in relationship with someone or a situation that maybe doesn't quite feel right. Something feels off, but I don't know how to address it, to heal it, to understand what my yeses and nos are fully and clearly and cleanly. And when you have a traumatic part of you, like a trauma, or a time where you felt frozen and you couldn't speak to something, or you weren't able to build intimacy and healing and resolution in a situation in your life, then what happens is you get stuck. You get stuck somewhere, and it prevents you from allowing these creative, abundant, wonderful, infinitely possible, wonderful outcomes to come to you, because you're still stuck in this one place. But the good news is if you're ready to really to do that inner work, then part of you says, it's time. Let's figure out what those yeses and nos are. Let's take away the emotional charge that has held you back, that has kept you from moving forward. So if all of that sounds good to you, I developed a class that I feel like will be a very important foundational class for any type of yes-no entanglements that are out there, and help you look at your blind spots of where you're unconsciously looking for something that you can't get outside of you. Because part of our journey and part of why I'm here is to help support people's empowerment, to bring the focus from out there back inside, to really get this inner nourishment, this contemplative, deep healing that happens. And to be able to, in that integration, speak your truth, but from a very grounded place that incorporates all of you, right? Your vivaciousness, your inner child, your happy, go lucky, goofy, silly parts, but also the parts where you say, you know what, I just can't do this right now. But not in a place of like, I want to punish someone because of it, but I want to do it because it's just not right for my growth and where I want to go anymore. And there's no judgment, there's no harshness, but I want this other experience to go deeper in love with me, right? I want to experience love in a deeper way, right? So I have a class called Gut and Goosebumps, and it's starting this Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. Central Time. And we're going to meet for 8 weeks, and we're going to look at these weekly topics. What are your yes and no body clues? So what does your body say? Your body might get a goosebump when X and Y happens, but it might feel differently in my body, and it's important to know that. So if you are in a relationship with your son, your child, or your partner, or a friend, you'll be able to go, my gut said this, and this is my body clue that tells me this information, right? So it's a way of informing and developing and deepening with everybody's inner wisdom, right? And how to separate out the parts of us that our mind got confused. You didn't have the right critical thinking as a child or in a traumatic situation, and you may have learned some things that aren't really true for you, and it's messing with you. It's throwing you off of your body wisdom and intuition coming through clearer. So first of all, looking at what your clues are for yeses and nos, getting into a deeper nuances of yes and nos week 2, then looking for the next few weeks into yes and no entanglements. The first one being when you're an empath and you're an overload from too much information coming at you, and you need to clear that out so that you can really listen to your own wisdom more. The week 4, we're looking at your inner child and you're feeling your feelings. And to get out of your head, if your head starts spinning a story that really might not be true in the moment, but it's an old trauma that just needs to be maybe felt or understood or healed, or bridging some gap with your inner child, right? Week 5, we look at blind spots and octopus tendrils, which we all have. These are the spots of us that we haven't been able to look at because either we were full of shame or guilt or something about, if I look at that, it means this about me, right? Or it just might be at a point in your life where you're just finally ready to look at your blind spots with compassion and gentleness, and then seeing where your octopus tendril starts going out, trying to find an experience that, again, coming back to here, that only can come inside of you. So the more awareness we bring to it, it brings more healing. Week 6, we look at yes and no in a relationship with others. Week 7, we'll talk about testing that new muscle in different ways, practicing using your voice, trying different scripts during the next few weeks. Together we will have some to look at, to practice. So some of us might not even know what to say sometimes in a situation, right? And then finally, inviting abundant yeses. We're going to do a hell yes collage at the final week. So we might have some yoga, we might have a guided meditation. Things might change from week to week depending on what people present and what we do, but we will end with a collage making experience as well. So we're going to have opportunities to do some inner work, journaling, sharing. And this is all for your own awareness and healing and consciousness. So would you like to know more about what your gut and goosebumps have to tell you, and how to bring clarity so that you can release entanglements and still feel the love and the flow of life supporting you even more? So let me know. I will have information about that to register for this. Hopefully of many different times this class will be taught as a foundational class for any of the movements that you've seen out there, the Me Too movement just being one of them. How can we heal our empowerment and claim it again so that we're not feeling victimized by a blind spot or about a pattern that is not helping us in our world and our time. My name is Tina Karagulian. Message me if you have any questions. See if this feels like a fit for you, and let's go on this journey together for this online experience. Thank you so much.